Hey y'all, welcome to our Queen Sugar recap. This is season 7, the final season, episode 5. I'm joined with the normal crew, but first, because she's back, she wasn't with us last time. She didn't see my struggle wig, my little
Oh my
hair
god!
situation. My what I have a hair and the hat
You had
situation.
on a
Look, you
wig
came
and
with it
a
though.
winter hat.
Yes, it was a fucking mess. It was a whole fucking mess. Hey, MD Turk. So welcome back, Ashley.
I definitely saw. I definitely saw it. I watched the episode and was Reese. You was going in on yourself. You was like, I know y'all trolls gonna say something about my
Oh
hat.
yeah. Oh
It
yeah, I'm
was
gonna beat you to the
cute.
punch. I'm gonna beat you to the punch because I have self-awareness. So it's okay.
That's
Y'all not gonna
important.
y'all not gonna get on me without me getting on myself first. Hey, I'm Cookie. I wish I had a little more color on this side. I wish I had a little more color. It's giving very much black on top. I need a little more blonde over here. But anyways, hey season, welcome
Hi,
back.
what's
I was in
up?
season last Tuesday. So even though we didn't do Queen Sugar, we did dinner for Season's birthday. Happy birthday, Season.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Round of applause, round of applause. Hey, S. Murphy. Okay, so this isn't going to be a 2 episode recap. We're going to talk about this episode, but since we weren't here last week, obviously we're going to be commenting on things. So let me just start off though, because we weren't here last week, saying congratulations to Prosper and Sandy. That was
I
so cute, wasn't
know.
it?
Thank you, MD Tart. Yes,
I
that was adorable.
I love the second line. I thought it was so romantic how he proposed. I just loved
Yeah.
every part of it. And they really, and I feel like we've mentioned this before, but we really don't see couple. I mean, I think for one, Hollywood and Vi's relationship is about as, I don't want to, I'm not trying to sound ages here, but about as old as it gets in terms of how they portray like new
Yeah.
relationships. I'm not talking about we've been married for 20 years. I mean new black relationships. And so I think to cover Sandy and Prosper, we didn't see a lot of their courtship, but to see that engagement, I just love that Queen Sugar is showing that. And I feel like I feel like they got the jitters out. The first 2 episodes were really rocky for me. Third I think was better, fourth was good, and fifth was good. Now I feel like we are where Queen Sugar is really in its element, and I don't, and now I feel better about being so hard in the first episodes because I really feel like they were trash and now we're peak Queen Sugar. Hey Karina.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, Ashley, since Ashley didn't realize we weren't doing a recap, I'll give you the first word on bringing us up until this episode.
You talking about how was it last week
Yeah, just any
versus
comments before we dive into this episode.
um do I remember last week's episode is the question. I
Okay,
think
never
the
mind.
biggest highlight. No, no, no. I think the best part for me was absolutely Proctor and Sandy because you said it best. You don't see old love when it comes to TV. You see
Mm-hmm.
it maybe they've been married 30 years, 40 years, but to give that whole perspective of love at a later age, love you can fall in love, you can get married at any age. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so sweet. I think Sandy is just adorable, especially when she came out in that robe after they got their little tango on.
Yeah.
I'm in love with her. I think that was my best moment, I would say, for sure.
Oh yeah, I love Sandy. She gives you older woman sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like I still got it. I'm still
Yeah,
fine, but it's different. It's different energy, and I love that for her. Okay, let me say hello to a couple
yeah.
of people. Hey Aunt Cookie. Hey Yvette. Um, oh, MD Terp says make sure to like this live. Yes, I appreciate that. And we says, yes, so happy for Prosper and Sandy showing that mature love is important. And he said, I told y'all it was a slow burn season. You have to wait for it. I don't mind slow burn. I just thought it wasn't good episodes that started off the season. But we're past that. We're past that. We are on to in Queen Sugar in its elements. Aunt Cookie said, what's wrong with Micah? Seemed a little spacey. I'm gonna drag the fuck out of Micah. I think Micah really
Mm.
gets He hasn't gotten dragged probably on any of these recaps, but today is the day for Micah. Okay.
Today is the fucking day.
Today is the fucking day. All right. There was a lot happening this episode. So let's start off with Hollywood and Vi and Joaquin and is it Dante? Yeah, I think it's Dante. I feel like there's an Ignacio somewhere, or is Ignacio today?
The dad is Ignacio.
Okay. So let's go on ahead and start off with them. First of all, I'm glad they've given Hollywood a little something to do, because I feel like he has been so far in the back burner this season. And when he came on Roland Martin Unfiltered, and I was on that day, and one of the things that I mentioned to him was I appreciate like the patriarchal character they have in him. And you know, it's not a traditional father, like, you know, he doesn't have any offspring technically, but I think that he's in his element when he's really taking on that role, you know, whether it's for Hollywood lecturing him a couple episodes ago, or, you know, trying to give him something to, you know, trying to give the boys something to do. And I thought it was really interesting how he said they talked about fostering, because I think we've seen over the series that Melanie says I couldn't comment at first. Happy birthday to Season.
Thank you.
But I love that, you know, I think we've seen over the series how Hollywood has that fatherly instinct and need. And so I think that the boys being there really gives that to him. Season, what's your reaction kind of to that whole plot with Dante, Joaquin, Hollywood, and Vi?
I thought it was interesting. Like, I was not well, first of all, I missed the whole Joaquin tearing up the restaurant. I don't remember that part happening.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember their past with him. But that was really interesting for them to bring in the whole ICE deportation, immigration spin into it. But you know, they just keep touching on Hollywood, you know, essentially missing out on being a father, and how there's still opportunities for that. You just, you know, the community still needs fathers, even if they're not your biological children or even your family members. Like, there's still a lot of children and young men who need that guidance. So they keep giving him that storyline, and you know, he keeps everybody in line, not just children, but I like his role. They do a good job at that. And at first I was like, man, why he can't adopt some little black children? But then
okay, that sounds like Aunt Cookie, because Aunt Cookie said, I know it should not matter, but I know somebody.
Oh, Reese froze. I know, man. Come on, but I stopped that for a minute, but I'm cool with it. We need that, because at the end of the day, Black people help everybody. You know, everybody comes to our community for help. Everybody got their hand out when it comes to niggas, and we just help everybody. So, you know,
yeah,
it is what it is. But good job, Queen Sugar. Good job.
Well, Queen Sugar has always kind of had this cultural thing. You know, you can't really talk about farming without the immigration aspect of it. And so they've kind of covered a variety of aspects of that. But I do think it's good to cover like the familial part of it and the separation part. And I think they're doing it in a way that's not super on the nose and preachy, because I hate when they do that. But I feel like they're doing it in a way that's organic to the story, because Vi does have that past with Joaquin. And she's always bringing in, you know, people in need of help. I'll put it that way. You know, like she had with the girl and her son, you know, the domestic violence victim. And I think MD Turp said, you know, Yvette said he wanted to be a father. Let's see. There was a specific comment. Oh, here we go. As much as he told on Vi, it didn't matter. You can tell Hollywood is in its element being a father figure. Yeah, and I just think that, you know, that whole thing blew up with the domestic violence chick and the son, and And that really affected Hollywood because they had a great bond. So now I think he was more attached more quickly to, to the boys. And I thought it was interesting, Ashley, how he was like, how Vi was like, don't get too attached. And it's like, you're the one who brought them here.
You keep dragging these motherfuckers in our house, in our life. She could attach like this.
She does. And she brought them there without asking permission from Hollywood. So Ashley, what's your reaction to that?
You already know I think Vi is some bullshit, but you know
you are not team
nah, she's still not.
I am not team Vi because she do that, she do that old black woman bullshit of talking shit and then doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about to do it. Don't get attached. They keep riding in your car. You keep dropping them off at our house. So you don't get attached. I just think it's ridiculous that, she says all this, but it's like you really are trying to tell yourself that through telling Hollywood. But when it comes to Hollywood and being a father, one thing I'll say that I'm noticing is, of course, Queen Sugar is really legacy focused, right? They're showing us different ways to create your legacy, maintain your legacy, expand your legacy. So with Hollywood's storyline, I think that they are going the route of you don't have to be a father to leave a legacy, right?
Right.
You can absolutely still leave your mark on individuals in the community, on foster kids, wherever it may be, without actually having to go through birthing a child. So I really appreciate that they're doing that storyline for those individuals that don't have kids and don't want kids. You may not want them or, for yourselves to be raising and to start from scratch with it, but you can still affect change, affect people without having to have an actual child. So I think Hollywood is dope. He is a very good character to me. I love the evolution of what they're doing with him.
And we also, have to keep in mind that as Black women, we tend to have kids at an older age. If we do have kids, a lot of Black women I'll say this, for us, it was drilled into us, like, get married, have kids, which is right. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we don't get married young enough, and so I think that you have a lot of women who are not necessarily having kids on their 20s or even 30s. And sometimes that opportunity has passed by the time they find the love of their lives. And so that can be a sore point, I think, for some Black women in terms of when they're dating. Sometimes there's some insecurity there about like, well, I can't give you a child. Do you want to be with me? We've seen that in real life. I think we all know somebody who has that kind of, tug of war that you go through. And so I like that they're showing the value of, number one, companionship and partnership in terms of marriage, in terms of relationships, but also how that love that you have as a couple, you can pour into other people even without having given birth to them. So I just love that Queen Sugar shows family in a variety of ways and not just in your traditional like nuclear family, a wife, a husband, and 2 kids and a picket fence. So I think that's so important that they do that because that's real life for Black people. But one thing I will say, you got to stay out of grown folk business. Because Joaquin was sitting up there ear hustling. He had no business ear hustling. Now I understand that you're a little
I was like, where is you going with this paper grocery bag? Where is y'all finna go?
Fuck paper grocery. Oh, I know, child. I mean, and then Hollywood said if you're gonna try to escape, you should do it at nighttime. Hello, how you making an escape at broad daylight? But
you can get to the end of the block before that bag break.
No, but I appreciate it. I get it. Hey, you don't want to be separated, so you're like, I'm gonna make a run for the border. I'm gonna make a run for it so that we can stay together. But I just appreciated how Vi and Hollywood, they were like, we're gonna figure it out. And Ralph Angel and Darla they were on board too with figuring it out, getting their own place. And so I just think I love how they kind of figured it out. But I also appreciate how it kind of covered, without being on the nose, the way that there's discrimination in a sense against people who have convictions, you know, like it's like a black eye on them in terms of housing discrimination or in terms of just being able to be even in the house with other people. And that's a real thing that if somebody has a felony, like for instance, it used to be the case where you couldn't maintain your housing, like Section 8 or other shit like that. And I know that, not to get into the whole political thing, but I know that that's something that like Vice President Kamala Harris has been trying to work on, and Secretary Fudge and the new administration. So they are working on that kind of stuff. But I just appreciate them kind of bringing up that issue. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to some of the comments because I'm a little behind on that. MD Turb says, oh, come on, y'all, shouldn't matter because they're vulnerable kids. And we covered that, MD Turb. We brought it back home.
I know, but, I'm sorry.
It just, listen, at the end of the day, you know, Black people, not all, okay? But a lot of times it's like, well, why couldn't that be a Black person? But in the show, it made sense, okay? It made sense why it came out the way it did. Anyways. Yvette says Vi is the goat of her community. Them boys appreciate Hollywood. Are we gonna watch Cherish Day? I am gonna watch it. Before anybody was paying attention to my little Black women views, I was recapping Cherish the Day, the first season. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't doing live recaps, so I don't think anybody ever watched it or cared. But then I'm not gonna have the time to do it this time because we still got Queen Sugar and it comes on right after Queen Sugar. But it does look good, though. I will say that. Karina says, happy birthday.
Thank you.
S. Murphy says, yeah, where was that going? I don't know, Jill. Yvette says, typical with foster kids, a lot of them are places where they aren't loved. And that makes sense. You know, if you're a little, you know, you're trying to scope out the situation, make sure behind their back that they ain't talking about beating y'all or poisoning your food. So that I get it. But I'm just saying, you know, Black people, we just stay out of grown folk business. Yvette says daughter looks good. Oh yeah, Karina says remember Charlie offered her house to Ron Darla while she's away, but once again his damn prize. That's such a good point. Like, why didn't they just go to Charlie's house, or did she get rid of her house? I don't know. Maybe she ended up getting rid of it. But I remember it wasn't just the pride thing. I think it was also that they would have help with the baby, with Violet in Hollywood, so that's why they went there. But yeah, that's a good point. But we're gonna I do want to cover Charlie and Darla a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it was really disappointing just how they have he has a felony, and I just thought it was she just pulled out a stank on it, you know.
Yeah, she was side-eyeing the fuck out of Ra. I was like, damn, bitch.
Just aggressive. Like
he was like, there's a felon.
I know.
Like, damn, bitch, chill.
But there's an ugly bitch in here.
No, where are you going?
Like she had some stank on her lip. Oh my goodness.
She did.
But you know, and I feel like one of the things that I appreciate about Queen Sugar, and one of the things I was missing in the early episodes where I was saying it was given Lifetime movies, but I think they've got the magic back, is really the humanity of it. Like when somebody walks into your home and tells you that, you know, because you're there, because you have a felony, even though you've done your time, even though you have rehabilitated your life, even though this last season he was getting some shit, but we gonna forget about that. That's been expunged. You know, it just shows the human impact of it. And like, these are human beings. These are people who have feelings. These are people who have whole lives outside of what's on a piece of paper. So I just appreciate how Queen Sugar brings it back to, like, yes, these are things that happen in society, but they affect real people. Oh, Karina says it was credit card fraud, not murder. Yes, that's true. That's true. And MD Tarp says, I used to have to approve or deny foster placements. And yes, because Ra had an armed robbery charge, I would have denied it. It's the law, but the law often conflicts with the best practice. Yeah, and I mean, I get it. I'm not going to sit up there and write, you know, to the senators and say, change the rules on this. But we just have to, I just appreciate that. Even though generally speaking, it sounds like a reasonable thing, sometimes just in real life, it's more nuanced than that. And I think that's just a worthy point to make. So anyways, let's move on to Ralph Angel and Darla. First, I have to say, I love where they are right now. Like, they're really uplifting each other. They're on the same page. And I feel like Darla has really found her voice. But I also appreciate how it seems like Ralph Angel is recognizing, like, seeing her. I mean, he said it a couple times, I see you. And he's like, you know, it makes him feel good that somebody like you loves me. Ashay, just what's your kind of reaction to where Ralph Angel and Darla are right now?
I love their relationship. I mean, I think them going through the drama with the Asian chick, you know, and her standing her ground and calling him out and, you know, really standing up for herself, I think that gave him a new respect for her and really opened up his eyes to how much support he really has versus him constantly trying to do something on his own. But I love everything there is. When they was on that couch making out, I was just like, "Oh my God, I want to make out with my man." Where
they was kissing. They was
yeah,
like together in real life kissing. It was so hot. So yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a steamy Ralph Angel and Darla scene for a while because they used to have some pretty hot and steamy scenes.
Yeah,
that was the first.
That was nice.
Yvette says, Reese, I'll be listening to you Thursday. Hey, Yvette. Okay. Yes, I know Yvette from Georgia. Kids need love and stable housing. Laws do need to change about that. I can see how laws can need to change. I'm just saying it's not going to be my personal cause that I'm championing right now, but I do feel sympathetic in terms of Queen Sugar. Season. I loved Darla's idea about trying to get Charlie to put the meal in the co-op. Like, she's constantly thinking about ways to expand the co-op and shore things up. And I thought it was smart when she said just having it on the books is a good look. Like, what's your reaction just to the business side and Darla constantly trying to be innovative and solve problems?
I mean, he got a heavy hitter on his squad. She held it down. She always got good ideas, and she just trying to make stuff happen around them. And I feel like with her, it's just as much her dream as it is Ralph Angel's to just make things successful and, you know, as easy and organizing and simple as possible. If you know, if what's the name? What's her name? If Charlie gone, y'all. That's why they didn't go to Charlie house. Charlie gone. She ain't studying them motherfuckers. She out on a campaign trail. Yeah. She like shit. Charlie gone. She could do this one little last thing for the community. Let's see what she say. You know. So I like Darla. I mean, I'm not as like, you know, they relationship it's cute for them, but I'm like, ooh, I couldn't do it. All this motivational speaking and affirmations and shit, that shit just sound exhausting, baby. You gotta hold your man up like that every day. Ooh, she a real one for that. Cause I know. You gonna get a how was your day out of me, and that's it. So she a good one, y'all. Cause I be tired. I ain't got the Instagram motivational quotes all day for these men.
Well, they have different love languages.
Yes, they got the love language down.
Some love languages is words of affirmation. Sometimes you got to, you know what I'm saying, lift them up.
Do it for the people, Darla.
She doing the Lord's work over there.
She doing the Lord's work, cause woo.
Yeah. But you know, speaking of Charlie, I do still think that there is a bit of a hole without Charlie being there this season. And I that's not to take away from the other characters or the actors. Like I said, I think they've really gotten back to the true essence of Queen Sugar, but she just, I mean, the fact that we know that she's off doing something that they built up to kind of sucks that we're not seeing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, we don't have a choice. You can't recast her, but I just think that there is still a little bit of a hole there. But hopefully, I don't know, maybe she will like zoom in for the finale. I don't know, but I just
she gonna cuss Micah out in the next episode.
I was about to say Micah is running her name through the mud, so that she gotta pop up because of that.
So yeah, let's talk about Micah. Then we'll to make a detour back to Darla and that scene. I'm just gonna say that scene because we all know about that scene. So around Micah. So the end of last episode, Micah was with the whole Ivory Tower people, who whatever the fuck their name is, and they were basically like, "You out, bro," and you know, drinking, I guess, desperation. He uploaded this GIF of his mother, Charlie, having her freak out, you know, when she caught Davis and the whole cheating scandal, and that was obviously bad. And so to this episode, he's trying to kind of delete it, but you know what really killed me was when he tried to bullshit Nova and like, oh yeah, you know, I'm trying to reclaim a public moment, you know. And it's like, get the entire fuck out of here with that bullshit. You are not trying to reclaim a public moment. You're trying to stay on the good side of these fucking people who, by the way, you just met. Like, y'all don't have a long history, and they're really only out for money from you. And their vision doesn't align with the kind of art that you're doing. So I get it. He's young. He's impressionable. He's still trying to find himself, like his identity. But at the same time, you don't do family like that. You do not do family like that. And so for him to try to bullshit Nova, and he did kind of pull Nova card a little bit, like, well, you know, how is it different than your book? But Micah, at the time, Charlie was not running for nobody's goddamn Senate or Congress or whatever the fuck she was on. She wasn't actually even, I don't even think she was running for any kind of office at the time. A blessing blood. She might have been, I don't remember. But that is wrong, the fuck wrong. Ashley, your reaction to Micah trying to kid himself, trying to get the shit deleted, all that shit.
I mean, I think she should have took one to the chest on his ass for that shit. Straight up. She should have just took one to the chest because, you know, be fucking for real. You really acting like you don't think this is bad. Yeah. And then you know what really got me was his bitch ass was like, this is my moment. I was there. So the fuck what? Yeah. Your mama is the one that's in here. When that shit was on the news, it was your mama that was on the news. I don't give a fuck about your ass. So they didn't care until you peed in front of the fucking cops. So why you sitting here acting like this moment is gonna define and change the fucking culture? And like you trying to impress these, you on some Kanye West shit. And you trying to impress these fucking white people and be all with these white people. Like, why would you throw your mom out there like that? I think that was the most disrespectful shit, and the lack of accountability was even worse. I ain't gonna front though. When he told Nova, you wrote that book, though, I was like, he got a point.
He had half a little small piece of a point, though. He had a half a small piece of a point.
The message is kind of muddy because Nova made that book and now she wants to do a movie about the book that ruined their family. So it's like, bitch, you're really not the one to talk. Even though you got a great point, you absolutely right. It's just that the messenger is messing up the message. Like I wouldn't have taken her seriously either. Maybe if Hollywood would have told me about it, you know, or maybe if Ralph Angel, even Darla Unvi, whatever. But Nova,
but at the end of the day, yes, Nova doesn't necessarily have the leg to stand on. However, even a broken clock is right once a day or twice a day. True. And she knows how damaging that was. But we know in our society, there's a difference between a book, motherfuckers don't even read really like that anyway, and a viral image, even though it's supposed to be NFT. Yeah. Because of the image existing and the way that it did, it became a national news story. And so I think there's a big difference between something you can package very easily into like a meme, a GIF, or whatever, as opposed to a whole ass book and like maybe somebody talks about a passage from it. But really, Nova wasn't breaking. I mean, neither one of them are necessarily breaking new ground, but I can just say, coming from the political sphere, an image is very powerful. And people love to take something and really run with it. And if the easier that it can be shared, the better. So I just think what he did was completely unforgivable. And I just think, like, what did Charlie do to deserve that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even think about his family. You know, Season looks like she's dying to say something. So let me just get to a couple of comments. She's gonna be like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Watch. I don't know. Okay, I think I might have just predicted it. But okay, let me go to the comments. Micah really thought Nova was gonna hype him up with that gift. Who does that to their moms? Micah is so fucked up to do this. And he still sees no wrong with his with his auntie's book. Michael's trash for that. Charlie running for council. Okay, okay, so she was running for council at the time. You're right. Because that was when the whole thing about she was dating the guy, and it came out about the farmers and shit that she had basically like keep working, and then they died and drowned or some shit. Anyways, Queen Sugar showed a great example of how white people won't take no for a damn answer. I experienced that. Are you talking about? Wait, well, you have to tell me what you're talking about specifically.
She talking about when Nova was talking to that publicist.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. We gonna get to the book. Melanie says Nova shouldn't be the messenger. Mm-mm. Okay. Let's see. Micah needs Isaiah back in his life. Oh, yes. I think Isaiah was a good influence and trying to make him stay true to himself and not be so much about what other people think. You know, so yeah. Oh, Karina says throughout the show, Micah has rarely had his mother's back. You know, that is a good point because he was super up Nova's ass the entire time. Like, Nova was the best thing since sliced bread. So he has kind of, been a little not really ride or die for his mom. That's a good point. Okay, Season. We're caught up on the comments. Go ahead. You gonna say it wasn't a big deal, huh?
I think it's not that big of a deal. I mean, okay, listen.
Wow.
What he did was wrong. I'm not gonna say he was right. He's definitely getting caught up in the whole like scene. He's trying to fit in. He's trying to be a follower. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking gift, man. And it's something that was probably gonna come up again anyways. Ain't she back with her niggas? So Black Twitter was gonna pick up on that quick anyways, and it'll be gone out the news in a day or two. So he made what, 200K off of that? It'll go away. I do think that Nova was the wrong messenger, and she, I do think it's bad timing. I do think he could have ran it by his mom or just, but it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission. And he's young and he's learning a very important lesson right now. I don't think he would make that mistake again. And he cashed out. So I think what I see happening to Micah is I think he either is not going to get on that plane and run off with this old shady ass nigga and get caught up with these white boys or whoever's the investors, or he's really going to have a come to Jesus moment. But I feel like something like that might have been necessary for his storyline because he doesn't know. He's trying to find himself as an artist in today's, market. And that can't be easy. These young kids, they lost as fuck. They don't give a fuck about no mama feelings and shit. So I just think it was a big lesson and learning moment for him. I don't think it was that big of a big deal just because how quick news cycles through. I don't think it's going to be as detrimental as like Nova's book or movie.
Yes, news cycles go on quickly, sure. But I think that it's a big story when your own son sells you down the river. Because I know when I wrote my book, the long and short of it, guys, to the 2022 midterms must watch races.
Do that.
Y'all go ahead, cop that on Amazon.
Great plug.
It just came to me. I would be remiss if I didn't do that. Anyways. The 33. I'm gonna get to that in a second too. When I was researching and one of the candidates in there, Adam Laxalt, he's running for Senate in Nevada. and his family wrote an op-ed saying this motherfucker ain't shit. Do not allow him to be governor. And he lost that governor's race in 2018. Now, they haven't written another editorial, as far as I know, for 2022. However, you know, when your family turns against you, that's a bigger story than just an image. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes it seem like, okay, what's going on there? That doesn't look right. The 33, I mean, you're right. Christian Walker was a big story today. I mean, we know that Herschel Walker ain't shit. He's a hypocrite. He's dumb as fuck. And, you know, it's really not surprising that he would have paid for an abortion, even though he is running on an anti-abortion platform. But when Christian Walker came out and dragged his own daddy, rightfully so, now it becomes a bigger story. So, I mean, just on the strength of I'm on Black Twitter every day. Yes, things come and go. You're the villain for the day, and then there's a new villain the next day. You just got to ride the wave out a little bit. But the family part of it really makes it a huge betrayal. And Karina says, for Black women running for honestly, you think it will just magically disappear. And I feel like Charlie got ahead of it. Remember last season when she did the interview with Gayle King and she talked about the whole Davis thing. So, of course, it's always going to be there. But unity from your family is so important in terms of, you know, really, in terms of really moving past that. So I get it, but I just think that was just so uncalled for. And
it was.
And Karina says, how do we go from Xavier in his frat to white validation? And to be fair, I can't even necessarily even put it on white validation because I don't know the guy's name, but the Black guy.
He's a man. He's such a hater. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this cat?
But remember,
and he's getting in Micah's head, and Micah was warned about him.
He was. The instructor told him about this dude. But Micah is so thirsty for acceptance and approval. And it could be, to be fair to Micah, now I'm going to throw this out there, to be fair to Micah, Charlie's across the country, his dad's across the country. And so when your parents
asked for it to be deleted, he did ask.
Zane, that's his name. He did ask, but I feel like he's not grounded in family right now because his family isn't all right there. But the last thing I will say is I don't think it's about him finding himself as an artist because I think he has a really strong artistic lens. I think it's trying to find himself in terms of being validated because that wasn't even art. Like that gift was not art. That was bullshit. Like the stuff
I need to get into NFTs. I need to rewatch them other episodes and see what this NFT is about. Because I can make me a little gift.
Shit, I should make an NFT. Me cussing somebody out and sell that shit. I could probably make some money. Like who you want to get cussed out? I will make a fucking video for you.
We finna research this.
I know, right? How do I get on this shit? I ain't gonna sell my own family down the river. I'll cuss out somebody.
Maybe I need to go buy a kitten or something and make me some NFTs.
Yeah, let's figure some shit out. Maybe I'm gonna start selling cuss out NFTs because everybody told me that they wish that they could cuss like me. So let's go ahead and let's figure this out. But anyway, back to the plot. Back to the plot. Okay. The bottom line is he is unforgivably wrong. And let me tell you the other part that is even worse. To be fair to Nova. Okay, to be fair to Nova. Nova was fucked up in how she did the book situation. However, Nova took her licks. She took her licks from everybody. Now she had that Nova face where she's the victim, even though she's the asshole, she's the villain. But Nova stood there and she took her licks every time when she got cussed out and dragged for a whole fucking season by everybody under the sun. Okay, everybody dragged the fuck out of her, and she took it face to face. She didn't go running. And for Micah to be ignoring calls, to be ignoring text messages, and to be hopping on the plane, and he is gonna get on the plane. I saw the previews. Is some straight up bitch shit. That's some punk ass shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something, stand in it. Especially when you're going to betray your mother like that and his father, because it's humiliating to both of them all over again.
What the fuck is that?
Years after they've moved past it, I think that's some straight up bitch shit that he was ignoring the messages and the calls. Now, mind you, granted, I don't know what situation Davis is in terms of the actor They should at least had him pop up, because to me, that's not no call situation. That's I'm popping up on your motherfucking ass, and we gonna handle this in person. That's in real life, you know. But on the show, Charlie, whatever's going on with her, but Davis should have been at waiting for him at the door, at the damn door. But it is what it is. That now I'm not gonna talk about the previews because y'all haven't seen the previews, but I like where they're going with the previews. It's very interesting. They got a nice little interesting twist on that. So anyway. Let's talk about the book. Well, first, let me just go ahead and get through this. Billy. Okay, so Billy is coming to stay with Nova.
Okay, cute.
All right. And I will say what's funny though, Nova was trying to live vicariously through Billy in terms of trying to get her to sleep with the trombone player. Okay. Billy still doesn't do it for me. I did think they did a good job with her last episode in terms of with Vince coming down, Lamont Rucker really carried, because I think he was far more interesting in terms of their plot line as opposed to Billy. It did not make any fucking sense as whatsoever as to why he would deal with her bullshit, but okay, that's fine. But Billy, any comment on Billy and Nova?
I like her hair. I wonder what kind of weave she got.
Yeah, her hair is cute. Them curls were cute.
Them curls was popping.
What? So what? Nova about to cheat on her nigga with the first bitch she was in love with?
Who knows?
Oh, the Camille thing. What was that about? Look, I ain't got time for no more Nova pop-ups. Okay, she already got Mo.
Won't she cheat on her man? You know, first it was the little farm girl, right? It was her, and then they had.
She's still around.
Mo's still around. Yeah.
What was she from, the Parenthood? Y'all remember that show?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Reagan Gomez. Yeah.
She came on the show. That's an ex. You know, she was all up in her face, and now she got this. You know, stalking the girl's Facebook. It's like, girl, we know what you gonna do. We know what you about. Just do it already. Like.
But I don't want that for Nova. I want Nova and Dominic to work. And he's coming back next week. Like, you should be able to hold on till next week. Nova. Come on.
It was but you know, picture though, and that's it. Like her response made it weird.
Yeah.
Like,
as freaky as she is, she don't know how to take a damn selfie in the bed. Come on, that was
plot hole. Plot hole.
That's a plot hole right there, bitch.
That's true.
Nova with the dreads would have been like.
That is true. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Dominic just doesn't all the way do it for her. I don't know. But it was also a weird transition. Like she has this powerful, you know, parents visiting her in a dream, and then she wakes up and has this super surface level conversation with Dominic. So that was a little like. Okay,
is boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they're boring.
I mean, I want to root for her and him, but also like that was like womp womp womp. Like it just like really fell off immediately. Like I felt like that wasn't a good transition. So I don't know.
He deserves somebody better. He deserves better. That's a black king right there.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I'm Team Nova. I've dragged her in the past, but I do feel like Nova has gotten her shit together for the most part. But I just think Dominic and Nova, like them sending him away, is just not good for the plot. I don't know. Maybe they have like a maximum capacity that they can film at the same time. So that's why people go away for whole ass episodes, you know, like because we didn't see Prosper and Sandy at all. Every episode, it seems like there's one or two people that are completely absent, you know, from the episode. But I think that sometimes it just kind of like stalls the momentum of the show. So anyways, I don't think they're really doing a good job of selling us on Dominic and Nova. Like, because like you said, Ashley, it's always somebody kind of around the corner. But anyway, all right, so enough about Billy. Whatever, girl. I just she doesn't do it. And it's not nothing against the actress, but I just think her plot just doesn't do it for me. So they kind of rounded it out a little bit last week, but I still don't care. But okay, let's go to, this is the last thing really, is this book. So Nova has an option to turn her book into a movie, and she's doing the right thing this time. She's not asking for forgiveness, she's asking for permission. going into the family gathering. Oh, by the way, I have to wait before I go there. Season, I'm sure Vi coming in talking about, are you pregnant? Is there a ring on your finger? I'm sure that was triggering. Like, that is the most fucking annoying thing people do. Like, go ahead, speak on it. Well, Ashley, speak on it.
I hate that shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I think it's the most disrespectful thing to ask a woman. I think it is so absurd to automatically assume that pregnancy is the fucking thing she wants to do right now. With everything with Roe versus Wade, I don't want to hear about my reproductive system from no fucking black bitch walking in my fucking face asking me that shit. Y'all, I'm annoys the fuck out of me. Because it's always, oh my God, I don't hate all black women, y'all. I love them. I'm going to turn into one. I love my mama. I love my aunties. I think they're great. I think they add value to life. But they fucking annoying because they the ones that'll ask you that goddamn question of, ooh, you got a ring on your finger now. You going to pop out some babies? You better pop out a baby to keep that man around. It's like, fuck you, fuck that baby, fuck him, fuck everybody. That's my take. Thank you.
Who's that? Yes.
TED Talk. Oh my God. It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. You never know what a woman is going through. She could have just had a miscarriage and you don't know that. She could have
Baby, they don't care if you just had a miscarriage. That don't stop nothing. They don't care if you've had miscarriages. They don't care if you had an IVF baby. They gonna ask, okay? If you are of reproductive age, okay, and don't have a little pudge, like I'm finna get my ass back in the gym because the holidays is coming. And I know people want to ask me. I know people probably be looking at my pictures like, ooh, you know, I don't even know. Like I'm to the point in my life where I'm just rude about it. So if someone asks me if I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be like, "You pregnant? Because we both fat. So what's up? With your 80-year-old ass, you pregnant too?" So, or I'm to the point where it's like, you ain't never, you fat. Like I'm at the point where it's like, well, you fat, I'm fat, so we both pregnant, right? If that's your only way to gauge pregnancy. So yeah, I'm to that point. But trust me, miscarriages, IVF, you can tell motherfuckers you don't have no goddamn uterus. They gonna be like, well, I prayed about it and I saw in a dream you pregnant. And that's,
oh my God,
I dreamed about fish last night, and then here you are.
I dreamed about fish. Now, I know the Lord done took your uterus, but he's in the blessing business.
You your fucking legs. That's why you dreaming about fish.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate that shit.
It's coming around the corner. I know people are like itching to ask me. So yes, that scene did trigger me.
It's so triggering. And you know, I listen, if you guys don't take anything else, do not fucking ask a woman about pregnancy. Like I remember I was in Aruba, y'all. A bitch was looking good as fuck. Like, bitch, I was looking good, bitch. Titties was looking good. I had a little cutout, but you know what I'm saying? I tried on every single outfit beforehand and be like, okay, I know that I still have a little bit of a mom's stomach. So let me make sure that, you know, I ain't got to suck it in. I ain't got to wear a girdle. I ain't got to do all that kind of shit. I'm still going to look good. It's going to disguise it. Bitch, I was looking good as fuck. And I was enjoying myself. I was at the concert. We were front row, standing room only at Mary J. Blige. And this chick, and she was a nice old lady, but she was an old lady. And she's like, oh, are you pregnant? I wanted to slap her old ass. Bitch, no the fuck, I'm not pregnant. I don't look fucking pregnant, okay? I look good. I'm not saying you can't look good if you're pregnant, but I'm just saying, why would you look at me and say, are you pregnant? First of all, it's none of your fucking business. She's like, well, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. Okay, well, you could have told me your profession without asking me if I'm fucking pregnant, bitch.
Am I laying on the ground with my legs open, about to give birth? That's the only time you should give a fuck about what I'm doing.
Exactly. And I was just like, my feelings was low-key hurt because I was like, damn, I thought a bitch was looking fucking good. Like, I had hella comments on my Twitter and shit. I was feeling good. And here this bitch I was talking about, are you pregnant? No, the fuck, I'm not pregnant. So anyways, long story short, don't fucking ask people if they're pregnant. Don't ask them, oh, are you getting married? Mind your business, bitch. And don't assume when somebody says they have an announcement to make that it's about pregnancy or marriage, because there are other things that happen in a woman's life than getting pregnant. And even though I'm married and I have a baby, I can tell you there are a lot of things that happen in the course of your fucking life that don't involve getting engaged, getting married, or having goddamn kids. Okay, so boom. But anyways, I didn't
ate the best burger in the world and want to tell y'all.
Yeah,
it's just it's so inconsiderate. It is so inconsiderate, and you know people are not. Like, I know when somebody asks me, their intention is not to hurt my feelings. Right. They don't have any malice, you know, that's behind it. But you still don't know where that person is in life right now. You know, You don't know what they're going through or what their body is going through. And just to ask such an intrusive conversation, I mean, question that ain't none of your fucking business, because you ain't giving me no money. You ain't giving me no money for these fucking kids.
I remember somebody at a family reunion, somebody asked my husband, like, where are your kids at? And he said, these nuts.
Bitch.
Wow.
This was before we had our little boss baby. He was like, Andy's nuts. He was so fucking aggravated. So men can sometimes men get annoyed by that question as well. Okay. Yes. All right. We've gone on our tangent.
Yeah, because I could talk about this shit all night.
I know. It's triggering where everybody's triggered, you know, okay. Triggered. All right, anyway, but so we roundabout way. Let's get back to this book. So Noah brings everybody together for the book. Initially, everybody. Oh wait, okay. So before the book announcement is made, Darla gets a phone call from her fucking rapist. Apparently, his name is Chase Livingstone, who's running for office. That's Jordan, the girl that she ran into last time. Why? I don't know why she would run back to this dude and say anything, but okay, apparently she ran back, and so now he's calling up Darla, hella buck, hella threatening. That was so disturbing, and you know,
let me tell y'all something.
Go off, sis. Let's go.
Let me tell you. You bitches from college be pressed about you. I have a lot of experience with bitches from college being pressed still to this day. Jordan was so out of pocket. Like, you is in front of her son, bitch. You run up on her. You like, hey girl, who is daddy? Oh, I know you you heard about it, baby.
Yeah, why would she even say that in front of her son? Why would she say that?
We are in an ice cream shop, honey. And then you run back to your group chat and this nigga, look. Bitches need to grow up. They need to move on. If you see a bitch from school and you got the little T on her and you want a little kiki on her, don't run up in her face. Now, Darla, she handled herself the best that she could. But now that this man on the phone, I'd be on Jordan line like, oh, bitch, this is what we doing? I want to see some little hood come out of Darla, because which it did. She showed us that she got the grit. She showed us she got it. But come on, that was so messy of Jordan. And then for this man to be on her line, she should just blow up the motherfucking spot, man. I'm ready for Darla to make it happen, honey, because that was so out of pocket.
Do you know how to screen record? Because I'd be like, I'm recording this right now. Say what? What was this, Chase Livingstone? You said what about threatening who? Bitch, right. I'll fucking like, oh yeah. But see, Darla's still a little timid. I need her. She's found some strength, but I feel like she probably should have been gaming this out a little bit since she saw Jordan about, like, if this motherfucker say anything to me, because that's what we do, right?
That's
like,
what
especially
we do.
as black people. Oh, I wish this motherfucker would say something to me. And we have a whole pre-cuss out situation.
We do.
We know what we gonna say.
We gonna have our memes ready in the save folder.
All of that. And so I know she's traumatized, and maybe that's what it is. But I think that, the way that this motherfucker came at her, and you on my phone, and I can screen record, say what? Chase, this is Chase Livingstone, the son running for whatever the fuck he's running for, who's trying to threaten me. He's the rape. I will end your ass. And so, like, I feel like she has more leverage over him. And, yet he's threatening her and being real buck. That's crazy to me. But it goes to show where he feels that she is. And maybe she is still there. I don't know. We'll see in the previews. But I just wanted her to have really gamed that out a little bit more. Brooklyn 411 says scenario 1-5 at the ready. Exactly. Going back to this, Jordan needs to be slapped. I would slap the fuck out that bitch. Like, I know the fuck you did not send this motherfucker calling me woo 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 woo. Like, everybody will get some of that smoke. Point blank.
Everybody gonna get it, baby.
Everybody gonna get it. And matter of fact, okay, let's really blow this shit up. Yeah, let's make this movie and let's name names. Like, let's do this. The fuck. So, but MD Terp says Darla said herself she wants to leave the past in the past. It was very traumatic, but the avoidance is not healthy either. Is it avoiding when somebody is calling your phone harassing you? Like, you're being harassed, like you're being threatened. So like now it's time to deal with it, you know, and she can't really go to Ralph Angel because he would end up in jail all over again. But I feel
that's what he there for.
Well, that's true. I think, but you know, to be fair, y'all gonna probably bite my head off. But I actually think Nova wouldn't be the worst person to try to bring in on this, because Nova knows how to deal with these little hood situations a lot better than other people do. But yeah, let's see. Chase should not be calling anyone jealous. He raped her, and I mean, it's gonna blow up. And I mean, my heart really breaks for her because she really is trying to leave it in the past, but I just feel like it's just crazy.
See, I feel like they building up to her really just coming on out. She had to stand up to Ralph Angel a couple episodes ago and hold her ground. She let Nova have it tonight. And now she see that this dude, he ain't finna go away. So I really hope that they building up like, yeah, the past should stay in the past. But if you didn't truly and honestly deal with it, and if you're not comfortable with it, then it's gonna keep coming back. And she needs to not even be tripping off that. Like, is the movie the answer? Not necessarily, but she needs to blow up the spot. I'm sorry. I'm Team Darla, but come on, baby, you gotta handle this. You gotta handle it.
At the point where you come at me now it's war. Ashley, what you got to say?
We have to put things in perspective that we are three women who have never been raped.
Right.
We may have been I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. But I mean, to the extent of Darla, right?
Right.
We haven't been in that situation. So yes, we can say I'm a fuck shit up, I'm a blow up the spot, I'm a screen record, but for her, I feel like that was first of all, she played the fuck out of that scene.
Oh yes. Well, we haven't even gotten to the Nova scene yet. We're still talking about Chase. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about even when she was on the phone with him and how she stopped. You know, at one point, many moons ago, I was a rape victims advocate, and I had to go to the hospital right after it happened and do rape kits with women and see them. So for her, it was a very accurate depiction of how someone that traumatized would respond. So it's like, yeah, she's stuck in that moment. She may have her son that she's looking at every day. That's a reminder. Right. So she's being re-triggered every time she sees him, every time he said something. At the same time, I do agree with you, Season. I think they are building her up to where she's going to get that courage and get that voice to really combat. And I feel like she's going to take this shit legal. I think the way she blew up with Nova and discussed it in that manner is going to give her the support she needs to become that person to fight back and become that survivor versus that victim role. Because right now, she's still a victim. She hasn't made it to survivor yet. You know, she can't really speak for herself. She still goes back into that. And when he called her a crackhead slut.
Oh my God. Now it's war for real.
It's like the fucking audacity that meant Men are fucking pigs. I love y'all. I love my man. I think he's amazing. I love y'all men. I think they're amazing. But men are fucking pigs. And the fact that he had the fucking balls to get on this phone with this girl after you didn't have this old bald-headed ass scallywag come tell you some shit. You get on the phone with her and continuously harass and call her after you know what you did. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. The fucking be fucking for real. What are y'all kidding me? So I think we're gonna see what we need to see when it comes to that. She's the best fucking storyline. She's why I'm still watching, honestly. Because they are giving it when it comes to Darla.
Yeah, they really are. I hope that's where they're going with it. I mean, the previews, it looked a little more relapsey as opposed to like Courage. That was just the previews, what the previews were given, but sometimes they kind of bait and switch a little bit. I'm not saying they didn't have her with a needle, up her arm and like that, but I'm just saying that there's definitely going to be they're going to get into that more next episode.
I just hope it gets better.
I just hope that's where it goes in terms of like she's gonna find her strength. And like I said, it's not. I mean, I'm glad you brought up, the trauma, because like I said, of course she's traumatized, and so there may, in that moment, your trauma is leading as opposed to maybe your defiance or your willpower. But I think now that we know that it's going to be a pattern of harassment, I think now it's time to kind of game it out a little bit more and try to like call in your reinforcements. I mean, this whole notion that he's going to destroy her family. How is he going to do that? It's all out there. You said you read the book, and okay, well, you read the book, then what the fuck? You ain't got shit else. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's water under the bridge now. So I just think that she has to reclaim her power. And that's really part of what, rape is about. It's about power, and so he's a sick, demented person.
Oh my God.
And I think it's going to come back into this environment that we're in, where we've seen politicians have their Me Too moments. And, a lot of times there's this inclination to kind of, side with the man. And I know I've been on the show with people accused of, stuff. And it made me sick to even have to have a conversation with them and not, be like, hey, you're accused of rape twice. Like, what I'm saying? Like, but by then it was way, way litigated and disposed of. But, at the end of the day, I just hope that where it's going is that she's going to be able to flip it, because again, like we said in the earlier episodes, seeing Black people lose is not really the whole point of Queen Sugar. It's supposed to be seeing us persevere and win and get some wins, and they've really been doing a lot more of that. And so you still have the tribulations, but I want to see her kind of push through that, because they really are rounding her out in a way that they haven't done in any other season. And somebody said she's a standout character. Where did I just see that?
She is. But we've also only seen her deal with, throughout, if we think about all the seasons, we've only really seen her deal with the drug addiction. We've never really seen her process the rape. Yes, she had a conversation with Vi, and that, she really did have a healing moment with Vi, but we've never seen her consistently discuss her rape to where, and I don't want to use the word comfortable, but she is, living with it. Better, right? It's always been quiet. So now, over all this time, she's never had to talk about it. She's never had to think about it, really. It can be brushed under the rug. Now she can't ignore these phone calls. She can't ignore the book that's out. She can't ignore this movie. So it's probably extremely difficult that she doesn't have a safe space to process all of this, but still low-key thrown in the fire of it on a consistent basis. So I do think they're going to do the same type of trope that they did with her drug addiction and her getting her out of that. I think they're going to do the same thing with this rape, because they're doing a lot of great work with mental health. That's one thing Queen Sugar does. They bring up mental health. So I think Caesar, what you?
So what happened in the preview, bitch? Because what is going to happen with this girl?
Okay. I said I didn't want to talk about the previews because you guys didn't see it. But okay, so in the previews, I mean, so one of the things is Micah, we come to find out, at least it's what it looks like, the person who's this rich benefactor is Micah's grandmother. So that's how they bring her back in there. You know, Charlie's mom. Yeah, you know, Charlie's mom is rich. Yeah.
Okay.
So she buys it so she can smack his ass down, basically. You know, ain't nothing like a rich ass white woman, because Charlie's mom came up in there with her rich white bitch shit, you know, on however many seasons ago. And so yeah, so that's my prediction, because you know he comes and it's a big shindig and she walks out. So I think it's the grandmother, his grandmother, that bought the NFT. That's what I think. She must got money like that, you know.
Okay.
But anyways, and then as far as Darla, you know, it just like they kind of showed her kind of like leaning over a little bit, like in the car, and it's kind of her narrating about how the past is coming back. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't giving like I'm about to go do a press conference and be like Chase Livingstone raped me and boom. It wasn't giving that. It was giving like kind of like what happened a couple seasons ago where she relapsed, you know. And who was it that found her? Was it Aunt Vi that
Hollywood?
It was Hollywood. You know, Hollywood. You know, so it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like needle in the arm or whatever. But I'm just saying that it just gave like spiraling. It gave relapse kind of. So that's what it was giving in the previews. I hope that that's not where they're going with it, and it's just like kind of like editing or whatever. You know, I don't know. But that's what it was giving in the previews.
Damn.
So
okay.
But it's only episode 6. Next week is episode 6. So there's still a lot of time to get through it, and maybe it's gonna show that rock bottom. But I'm like, damn, how many rock bottoms goddamn Darla needs to have? I mean, fuck, she's had enough rock bottoms. Like, let's see her kind of like, you know.
Darla, I'm rooting for you, honey.
I'm rooting for her, man. I'm all her team. Y'all, is that a fat suit on her? That's not right.
No, I don't think it is.
That weight is looking good on her though.
But you know, the TV does add weight on you. You know what I'm saying? So there's that.
She know, good. Her hair was bomb. I mean, darling.
No, I think she had a baby. Did she have a baby for real?
No, she did. I did look it up. I'm not gonna lie. I looked it up. I was like,
because on her Instagram, she never showed her stomach.
Well, I've seen some pictures, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. If she had a baby, she keeping the baby completely under the fuck wraps. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know what's going on. But you know, and I think a lot of people have had different weight.
Somebody needs to go ask her.
Well, I mean, she's in her 40s. You know, at the end of the day.
Kidding. I'm making a joke about Aunt Vi. We need to be an old black bitch.
Okay, that was a joke. Okay.
Like, girl, did you have a baby?
I know. We're not gonna pudge shame, okay? Because
she looks great. I love her. She looks great at any weight, at any size. Yeah, I love her. And
so let's just talk about the whole movie situation, because we talked about the Chase situation, but to me, by far, the standout scene was when Darla lost her shit about the movie. And I mean, so everybody seemed to be on board, unless she hadn't heard from Charlie, with the movie. They were kind of cracking jokes, and Darla, you know, still kind of, you know, processing the call from Chase, like just has a slow burn, like a simmering a little bit, and then she just completely explodes. I mean, I didn't know, and I say this with no shade, no malice whatsoever, I didn't know Bianca Lawson had it in her. Like, she fucking did that in that role. Yeah. I mean, it was incredible.
Very soft spoken. Every role she's soft spoken.
And actually in person, I met her in person, and because the whole cast, I went to this. It was like 2020, I guess, or no, it was 19. It was 2019. At Essence Festival, and they had this, you know, Summer of Own party. So like the whole cast of Queen Sugar was there. The whole cast of most of the cast of Greenleaf was there. Most of the cast of the other show, Ambitions. I loved Ambitions as well. And so anyway, and with Bianca, she has this like almost like melancholy energy about her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's just like a super introvert. I don't know. And that's what it is. Like other people were a lot more like, she was nice. She's beautiful. She looks flawless in person. But her energy, there's a little bit of, I don't want to call it sadness. I'll just say there's a little bit of melancholy about her. And I think that shows in her pictures on Instagram. It shows in her character and how she plays Darla. I'm not saying that to be shady at all. But anyways, but there's something in there that has like an intensity, but also like a sadness almost. So I can see how like she can explode like that, in terms of her delivery. But she's very soft spoken, at least in my interaction. I haven't had private dinner with her. She might be like turn up like me, cussing and fussing, but in terms of publicly what I've seen, she has a very quiet energy about her. So for her to see her explode like that was incredible.
Yeah, she needs to give her stepsister some acting tips.
Not too much on Beyonce internet. Okay, you're gonna get off.
No comment. No comment. We are not going there on Beyonce. This is about Queen Sugar.
I'm just talking about her acting.
We not
she
gonna
needs
go
some
there.
help. Bianca,
I want an Ivy Park. I want an Ivy Park box. One day, baby, I'll be important enough to get an Ivy Park box. I have no comment in response to that.
I ain't gonna mess up my blessing.
Right. Hello. You're not blocking my blessing.
Y'all Cookie know what I'm talking about.
I'm not putting that on the big screen.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But to be fair, I love like the dialogue itself is so important because she's like, why would you think that I'd want my assault streamed in people's homes for years? And it's like, yeah, that's where we are now, like who wants to be re-traumatized? Like the book was bad enough. They've dealt with it, but like now it's entertaining and it's being reenacted. Like there's definitely something like super, super like sinister about that. But so any comments on that beyond what we've already talked about?
Yeah, I mean, Blue he could walk into the locker room one day and the kids is playing that shit. That's true. To tease him and fuck with him. It's just cruel. I would want the movie to be made. If it was me about my life, I'd be like, look, I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm a survivor. Make that shit, bitch. We finna cash out. But I get where she's coming from. And she let Nova have it in a way that we haven't seen in a minute. Like,
right.
But even though Nova was doing the right thing and asking the family, this is something she wants, and she has to remember it's not just about her. Because I think she still might go for it. I think that it still might happen, so I think it was just it was something that need to be said. Like, just because you asking for our permission, like, you wow for even asking this shit. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So, good for her. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know if it was the hookah or what, but I was tearing up. I said, bitch,
me too.
Sad. I was like, oh my God, this is so sad.
Me too. Like, I literally was like I was on tears. I mean, multiple Darla scenes had me like choking up, like for real. Like, I just think she was this is like a standout episode for her. Like, she like wear the crown, like, girl, you did that. Like, at least she should get an NAACP Image Award. And I'm not saying that like to be funny, like for real, like get the NAACP Image Award, girl. You earn that BET Award. Whatever the Black awards are, I don't know, because they've never been nominated for Emmy. And I think Queen Sugar definitely should have been nominated for Emmy, but I don't care about white award shows like that, but you know what I'm saying? That's janky as fuck. But I mean, Ashley, that door is still open in terms of the movie, because now let me see what y'all thinking in the comments. Chime in, and then we'll wrap it up. If they don't include Darla's character, is it fair to do the movie? Because Darla doesn't want to be in it, and they say, okay, we're not going to put your character in there. Even though the movie itself will still bring more attention to the book, does that make it not okay? Or is it okay as long as the people who don't want to be in the book are not in the movie? Or sorry, don't want to be in it. What will you think?
I mean, I don't see how they would go about making it without including Darla at all because she's a part of the family, you know. Um, Wait, one quick thing. Did y'all notice that Micah was the one that first saw Darla and was trying to get Nova's attention to tell her, like, look at Darla, Darla about to blow up?
No, I didn't notice that.
That was very interesting to me, that because at first when she first asked the question, Darla's eyes got big and she sat there. She didn't say nothing. Then she started looking around, and that's when he noticed something was up with her. It just really made me see. It really linked to the part that Darla said, "Nova, this isn't about you." Because when Nova was telling about the movie, she was telling things that she knew would entice the family. When she talked about money, she looked at Ralph Angel first. When she talked about who's gonna play who, she told Vi Oprah first. She made sure to tell them things to boost it up for her to get what she wants. But she never acknowledged the pain that would come along with this, even when it comes to Darla. So it was like, you know, Darla blowing up was fucking magic to me. I think that was
brilliant,
realistic, brilliant depiction of how someone would act with trauma like that. Knowing that they're gonna, like, you're gonna have my rape scene on the movie screens. Like, you're not even thinking about anybody or anything in this book. You only thinking about yourself. I don't fuck with Nova. I think Dominic needs to break up with her and go find him a better woman.
Nah, we done already talked about this.
I will say this. I do not share your read on how Nova delivered the news. I did not feel like she was trying to entice them. I feel like she was trying. No. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Let me rewind it.
That was a Hollywood pitch, baby.
No, let me rewind it. Wait a second. Okay, let me rewind it. I don't think that she was trying to entice them prior to them reacting positively to it. Like, she didn't lead off with Oprah wants to play you on Vi. Like, she was trying to give her whole apologetic spiel and yada yada yada. And then once Aunt Vi was like, oh, you know, well, that needed to happen and yada yada yada, then that's when she was like, oh, well, Oprah would want to play you. And then that's where they started talking, because everybody's energy changed. So I don't think it's fair to put it on Nova like she came in there Hollywood. I don't think she came in there Hollywood.
I think Nova's a manipulator, and she tried to pull at heartstrings at first. That tactic didn't work, so she switched it up and went to shit she knew would work.
Her intentions are not pure. She wants this movie. She wants this exposure.
We can agree to disagree, because I think that her intentions. I think her intentions are pure. I think that everybody. I do think that they're pure. I get why Darla is completely not the fuck on board. But I do think, in terms of this movie and wanting everybody to be on board, I think that she's sincere about that. But I think, to be fair, but wait a minute, to be fair, nobody else in that room thought about Darla either. Ralph Angel wasn't thinking about, oh yeah, well, my wife's rape and my wife's drugs and shit. They was all getting hyped about, oh, well, Keith Stanfield should play you and with the womb. So, to be fair, everybody kind of got caught up in the whole idea of it without, and that's why I think Darla really like exploded, as well as the call with Chase. So I'm not going to put it all off on Nova like that, because I do think she's really trying to do the right thing here. Now, I think it's going to be questionable how it works out. You know, they're still keeping the door open with the whole, well, we can write this character out and we can write that character out situation. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But I think you kind of need to keep the plot going for Nova, because what else do they have? Like, I don't think her and Dominic are super interesting like that.
Question. Nova specifically said at the beginning of her motivational speech, she said, right? If one don't want to do it, if it ain't all the family want to do it, we don't do it. If one is out, we all out. So if now that she knows how strongly Darla feels about this, she said, I'm not gonna do it. The movie's not gonna happen. When next week comes and her ass says, well, we could just take Darla out and goes along with it, are we gonna finally say Nova trash?
I'm not. Well, that's the question I asked y'all earlier. I said, what do you think? If you, I
think they should take. I think they should take what's the name out.
I think they should take Darla out and do the movie. There's so much going on in the movie. I mean, that this book spans multiple generations. I mean, it went back to Vi, you know, having an abusive relationship with her husband. Like, it's a lot of fucking material in that book. And let's be honest, I just don't think that Darla is that instrumental. I mean, her story is obviously super tawdry and fucked up and traumatizing, and it would probably, as fucked up as it sounds, be entertaining, you know. And I don't mean that as though I do not find rape entertaining. I will fast forward the fuck out of a rape scene in a minute. I'm just saying, unless
I will stop watching something if it's a rape in it.
Now, I will say this. I really enjoy a good revenge flick. So there are some rape flicks that I've seen, and them bitches come back and murder the fuck out of people, and I'm like, yes, like,
what is it? The girl with the dragon tattoo, fucking
yes, ooh, good, ooh, that's a good one, ooh, that's a good one,
yes, that
phenomenal.
There is another one. It's like a little indie flick. It was on Amazon. It's something about like a little lamb or some shit. It's like some kind of little lambs, and there's a host. There's like a little 3-part book, a 3-part movie, like a trilogy. So I can tolerate it, but I'll fast forward the rape parts. I will, but after the revenge part comes in, I'm all in on that. So anyway, I would like to see Darla dress up in all black like the Omen and go beat the fuck out of Chase or do something like that. But that ain't this kind of show.
Take him down, girl.
Yeah, that ain't. We ain't in How to Get Away with Murder. We're not in Scandal, so we not gonna get that, you know. But okay. But anyways, somebody said, did Aunt Vi get healed from her lupus, or what did she? We have not talked about Aunt Vi's situation. She's doing better. She's on her medication. She's eating right, so she's all right. Joaquin helping her with the vegan stuff. I don't know if she had.
I thought she had the sugar.
I don't know what she had.
Was she just passing out and stuff?
Melanie says, I've been side-eyeing Nova since she tried to date Charlie's Farmer. That book had me kind of through. Yes, I was on her ass about the whole Remy situation. But anyways, okay, y'all, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. So let's just close it out. I just want to give another round of applause to Bianca Lawson, because she did that. Darla did that. This whole episode, she was the star of the episode. I'm glad they're giving us Darla. I still want more for her.
Yes, we need Darla 2.0.
I want more for her in terms of what she experiences outside of the fact that she's a sexual assault survivor, outside of the fact that she's Ralph Angel's wife or helper. She's always in service to other people. I like, how are you doing as a new mother? Like, how are you doing? Like, I just want to see more of her without it being she's helping Aunt Vi, she's helping Ralph Angel. Like, I want to see her doing a little bit more on her own. And we're going to see more
main character and not just a side character. Everybody.
Yeah. Like, why do we see Billy at the grocery store, but we don't see Darla at the grocery store by herself? Like, we don't care about Billy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are other people that we get solo scenes for and we don't care about them, but we don't get those kind of scenes with Darla, you know? So I want to see more of that. It's only a couple more episodes, so I don't know if we're going to get there, but that's what I would like to see. So will y'all review Reasonable Doubt by Kerry Washington? Is it out already?
I think they're on episode 2, probably.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's hard to do more than one recap. I think we were doing 2 at a time, because weren't we doing Insecure and Queen Sugar? Did we overlap at some point?
Yeah.
We ain't got time for that right now, though. We got too much going on. But you know, well, after Queen Sugar, we'll find the next thing to recap. Oh! Before I go, I do have to say, Ashley, I met Gail Bean on Saturday. And I got a picture with her. I'm about to text it to you.
Who's Gail Bean? Tell me.
Roulette from
Roulette,
P-Valley.
I don't know her as Roulette. I know her as Wanda. Okay, from Snowfall.
Yeah, she's on
Wanda.
Snowfall too.
Oh
Good
my
night,
God.
Aunt Cookie. Good night, Melanie.
Good night,
Yes. I met her. She's divine. She's so beautiful, so sweet. Like, so I met Jay Alphonse Nicholson, and now I've met Gil Bean. You didn't know that? Yeah, I met him. I met him at Essence
Big
Festival.
Murder.
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
Yes, I did. Such a sweet person. Like, I mean, let me
Was
tell
he
you.
a little sweet?
No, he was there with his wife. Actually, he was there with
Do
his
he
wife.
smell good?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to all that. I really
Dang.
wasn't. I was turned up at the concert, but he was very gracious enough to take a picture with me. And Gail being the same way. She's such a sweetheart. And she retweeted me and she followed me on Twitter. So I'm
Hey,
team.
Gail, she watching tonight if you didn't know.
Hi, Gail.
She might, because I don't know. It might pop up on her feed. I completely doubt it.
Gail,
But
we
now I'm
love
like, damn,
you,
too bad.
okay?
Well, if they, we're gonna have to recap P Valley next. Okay, the next time the season comes out, we're gonna have to for real do. It don't matter, come hell or high water, we're gonna have to figure it out. So
We got to.
anyways,
They got
okay,
renewed
y'all.
for 3 seasons, right?
Yeah.
We
Where
got
they
renewed
say
for season 3 and 4.
allegedly, we'll see. I don't know. That's questionable. But anyway, we're halfway through the season. The final season of Queen Sugar is hitting on cylinders. We've had 3 solid episodes in a row, and it's back. I think Queen Sugar is back to what we love about it. So we will see y'all back here next week, next Tuesday, for episode 6. And we're gonna find out what happened with Darla. And we're gonna find out what happened with Mike.
That Mike will get his ass beat.
I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. Ain't nothing like an old rich white lady cuss out. Because remember when she came in there and completely destroyed Charlie's whole self-esteem? I have never seen Charlie be as unconfident as she was when her mama was around. So if anybody could break Micah down, it's definitely his damn grandmother. I can say that for a fact. Okay. So we'll be back next week. By the 33, by MD Turb, by everybody that's still on. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.